Hi, I'm Elisa O'Neal, and I work for Armand Bayou Nature Center as the volunteer coordinator. Our mission is to preserve and protect the imperiled habitats to which we've been entrusted and to educate the public on their impact to on these imperiled habitats. We provide educational services to the public. We also have conservation projects. As a part of our mission, we're preserving and protecting the coastal tallgrass prairie, the flatwood forest, and the Armand Bayou stream. So everything we do is kind of centered on conservation and naturalism. But, on average, our volunteers plant 10,000 to 15,000 endangered prairie plants a year. I want to say that every month we're educating and receiving anywhere from, 500 to 600 guests. Our volunteers do everything. Our nature center is pretty unique in that, we have a very active volunteer community. We have a volunteer board, and they have a big influence on our programs. They help us develop and deliver our restoration projects and our stewardship projects, as well as our education programs. So they're doing everything from going out and collecting basket flower seeds to removing invasive species, greeting guests in our admissions office. They're helping the staff in our offices with cleaning up our database, or helping us do bookkeeping. We have people who normally under normal times would be out in our lobby with a table with specimens, educating guests as they walk through. We have or maybe handling one of our animals. We have reptiles, turtles that people can take out and show the public. They really do everything here, and they're out here during the weekday, leading field trips. We also have our own eco education programs. Volunteers help out with that. We have volunteers who are helping out on committees and helping us plan fundraisers like the Martin Farm Harvest Festival. They're really embedded in our organization, and we could not make it happen without them. At this time, in terms of virtual volunteer opportunities, we just started some blogs. So I actually have some volunteers who are writing content for that blog. One of our volunteers just finished an amazing piece on environmental justice that I'm really excited to share with everyone. We could use some help with taking some of our trainings and making them virtual. So anyone who has video editing skills or is really good at PowerPoint, it would be nice to have someone to pair with another volunteer who maybe has that experience but doesn't have the skills in those programs, like PowerPoint or Photoshop, Premiere, something like that, to maybe help deliver some of those virtual trainings. I do this work because I believe that we need to take a look at the way that we live and change the way that we live, and try to make a difference every day, with the choices that we make. I used to work in an industry that was very far removed from nature, and so when I started looking for a career change, I looked at the Armand Bayou specifically, and I said, gosh, I'd really like to do something there. They didn't have any jobs at the time, so I volunteered, and that made me very happy. But now that I'm staff, you have to make an impact where you can. I'd love to go out into, some really remote place and do something, awesome to protect nature. That's not going to happen. But the Armand Bayou is right here. It's right in our backyards. And it's so important to, to protect this. It's one of the last remaining unchanneled bayous in the Houston area. We have over 370 species of animals that call this place home. And that's not including, I think, all the migratory birds that come through here. It's really important for flood mitigation, biodiversity, carbon capture. It's water quality. It's an extremely important, precious place. And so, that's why I do this work. The value of volunteer time, the rate that we use is the independent sector's value of volunteer time at $24.10. So in 2019, our volunteers essentially helped us save about $500,000. So, every hour really makes an impact here at the Armand Bayou Nature Center. The benefits of volunteering at Armand Bayou Nature Center is, I think number one is just getting to have kind of backstage access to this amazing place where you have 3 distinct ecosystems. We also have monthly meetings. Now we're going to be offering virtual volunteer meetings, which is kind of cool because now we're going to have some speakers, who come and make presentations, usually, based on some nature topic, although sometimes we have cultural or historic, historians come in and do a talk. But every month we have a speaker come in and, so our volunteers get to learn from experts and professionals in the field of ecology or conservation. I think in August, we're going to have Monica Morrison, who runs a big cat preserve, I think out near Dallas. So I could be wrong on that, but she's going to come and talk to us. We're going to have a firefly expert come out later this year. We're going to have another person who's going to teach us about frog calls so that we can identify the different frogs that we have here at the center. And so there's a lot to learn. In addition to kind of getting this learning, you're going to be joining a dynamic community. We have anywhere from 250 to 300 active volunteers. That number may be a little bit smaller right now because of COVID. But we have people who used to work at NASA. We have people who were biologists, zoologists. We have educators, artists. And so it's just a really great community of people. And so you can make friends with like-minded individuals. And so, I really enjoy that aspect of volunteering and working at Armand Bayou Nature Center. We do have an appreciation dinner once a year. It's probably going to look a little different this year. But for every 10 hours of volunteering that you do, you get a ticket that you get to enter in for a raffle for really cool things like a pontoon boat ride, kayaking, gift cards to Amazon, just swag from our gift shop. Those are kind of the benefits. And you get to participate on hikes. And so, you get to come out here if you want to help out with our new family charter night hikes. You get to come out at the center at night. That's what it's really, exciting to see the fireflies and to see the eye shine of all the wildlife that's here. It's really great. And once we restart our kayak program, our volunteers get to go out on the kayaks and help out there. So I think the biggest benefit is that backstage access and just getting to, get to do all these cool things. We cannot do what we do here at ABNC without volunteers. And so, like I said before, on average, our volunteers plant about 10,000 to 15,000 endangered prairie plants. The coastal tallgrass prairie is one of the most endangered ecosystems in North America. There's only 1% left. And of the 1% left of wild prairie, there's 1% here at the Armand Bayou. Prairies are our ecological heritage. You think about different places and their names here in Texas. You know, you have Grand View. You know, you have you know, lots of names of Prairie View. You know, most of Houston was coastal. And so when you think about that and the development that's happened and kind of the disappearance of prairie, and what that's done, you know, for the climate, for ecology, you know, when you start to look at what's left, I think it's really important that we continue to preserve it. And we could not do that without volunteers. So when people come out here and they're helping, you know, with our conservation projects, they're protecting one of North America's most endangered ecosystems. And even if you're doing just education, you're opening the minds of students to the real need to preserve and protect these imperiled habitats. And so the implications for that, you know, are you know, could be, you could say, multi-generational. Like, you teach one person why it's important. If you help them understand, you help them appreciate, and that, you know, appreciate this place. And then through that appreciation, there is a desire to protect. And so, you know, I think the benefits are huge. I think anyone who's studying conservation, biology, certainly, zoology, herpetology, anyone who, you know, I think I would say mainly conservation is going to get a lot. Anyone in the field of biology, education majors are also going to get the most benefit here. Yeah, conservation, ecology, and environmentalism. Anything that kind of is related to that. I mean, there's a wide variety of skills that people can gain by helping out at the Armand Bayou Nature Center. If you come and help out in our volunteer office, you're going to be able to work on your computer skills, you know, your collaboration skills. We use G Suite, and we're really trying to push that. So you could be a part of helping developing and streamlining some of our, you know, digital processes. If you come out to Prairie Friday, you're going to learn how to identify native plants. You're going to learn about our soil. You know, you're going to learn about the prairies and, you know, the prairie ecology. If you come out and help out with our marsh restoration projects, you're going to learn about marsh ecology. So all the skills related to conservation and ecology. When it comes to stewardship, you're going to gain a variety of skills. You know, in our education department, you're going to learn about socio-emotional learning. A lot of our EcoTalks program is amazing. And our education office is led by some very, you know, highly skilled education professionals. So you'll be learning about lesson plans, you know, how to make, you know, a really, you know, a project-based learning. I mean, it's amazing. There's really a lot of skills that you can do, because there's so many different things you can do here at the center. There's lots of skills to be gained. If you cannot volunteer, the best way to help the Nature Center is to donate or become a member. As our stewardship director used to say, if you're not a member, it's always a good day to become a member. You certainly aren't required to become a member if you volunteer. But if you want to support the center, that is a wonderful way to support us. You know, we are a 501(c)(3), and we do have partnerships with different organizations, but we have to keep the lights on, and we have to pay our staff and, you know, and some of our utilities. So yeah, becoming a member is a great way to help out without actually coming out to the site, and or at least not coming out on a regular basis to volunteer. And then you get all the benefits of becoming a member. So you get discounts in our gift shop, you know, discounts on our different programs and different visitor services programs. You get, special access to some of our, some of the same things that our volunteers get in terms of speakers and continuing, education. And then you can bring friends, depending on your membership level. You can bring friends or family with you. If a membership is not something that you're interested in, then just donating. We just had our virtual gala here recently. It ended on July 1st. And we raised, something like $68,000. And a lot of that was individual donors. And that really helps us continue to do what we do. So right now, if you want to volunteer at Armand Bayou Nature Center, we're doing things a little bit differently. It's mainly a virtual orientation, although we do have a tour. So go to abnc.org/volunteer and click on the adult volunteer application. I'll get a notification that you've completed an application. There's also a video on that page it's a video recording of a lecture that our stewardship director and chief naturalist, Mark Kramer, used to give. And it's one of my favorite talks that he gives, and it's an intro to ABNC ecology. And so you'll get to not only learn about our three ecosystems, the coastal tallgrass prairie, flatwood forest, and Armand Bayou stream, but you'll also get to see a little bit of what volunteers do to educate and protect and preserve these habitats. So once you watch the video and you fill out your application, I'll send you an email with some links. We'll need to get a little bit more of information from you and just kind of see where you are in terms of your knowledge of after you watch the video, like what did you learn? And then we'll set up a virtual orientation. I'll tell you about our basic policies, how to get a badge and where things are located, or how we run things behind the scenes. And then also you'll take our COVID response training during that training session, because we are trying to stop the spread here at Armand Bayou Nature Center. And then so after that, we'll schedule a tour. There is a background check that we have to run, but once all that's complete, we do a little tour, and I'll show you around. I'll show you where we keep our specimens and how to, once things get back up and running, how you could maybe help out with demos if you're interested in that. We'll walk by the farmhouse and check that out. And then you're ready to volunteer.